Thank you, Mr. Chair and honorable supervisors. Opening statement before we address any questions that you might have. I've had an opportunity to go inside the county executive's, what he has termed anyway, as a 2015 budget proposal for the office of the sheriff. Several weeks ago, I issued a news release where I expressed concern that County Executive Abley might extract retribution through his so-called budget after spending $263,000 of his vast wealth trying to defeat me in the August primary election. My suspicion has been validated. County Executive Abley's 2015 proposal for public safety is not a budget. As I said, it is retribution. He has no respect for election results that did not go his way. The budget language from the County Executive's 2015 recommended budget summary states, and I quote, "The 2015 recommended budget for the office of the sheriff is provided as a lump sum amount to acknowledge the sheriff's constitutional and statutory authority to deploy resources as the office sees fit." And yet, once again, the county executive is micromanaging and trying to run the office of the sheriff by manipulating the budget. I'm here today to work with the county board to put together a reasonable and legitimate budget for public safety in Milwaukee County. I want to make it clear. County Executive Abley's proposal does not, I repeat, does not contain a $4 million increase as he has proclaimed. In fact, his proposal results in $5.7 million in cuts that include laying off 19 more sheriff's deputies and 11 command staff members. I have to have adequate supervision to run this agency and to protect the county from failure to supervise lawsuits, a factor that can lead to tens of millions of dollars in jury awards for lawsuits. The City of Chicago Police Department recently paid out $100 million in civil claims for the acts of law enforcement officers who were not properly supervised. Currently, the Milwaukee Police Department is facing the same situation. Proper supervisory staffing levels are a small price to pay to prevent tens of hundreds of millions of dollars in payouts for civil lawsuits. County Executive Abley's political mischief is not only dangerous, it's unacceptable, and it will be costly in the long run. He has manipulated his own budget document to show that the 2014 tax levy line for the sheriff's budget at $66.7 million, and he changed that to read 62.8 on his 2015 spreadsheet. He then proposed the same 66.7 million figure for 2015 to deceitfully make it look like a $4 million budget increase. There is no additional money in his 2015 proposal. His sleight of hand is deceiving and it's downright dishonest. Abley has demonstrated a pattern of playing politics with the public safety budget at any cost in order to get his way, to make it more difficult for me to perform my constitutional duties. He simply wants me to fail. His playing politics with the budget ultimately hurts the people of Milwaukee County. That's more important to me. His petulant behavior is dangerous to public safety in Milwaukee County. Once again, he's proposing, for example, transferring County Park Patrol to the Milwaukee Police Department, an agency already understaffed and just trying to keep up with calls for service. Twice in the past, this ridiculous idea was denied, yet he continues to stomp his feet until he gets his way. His proposal to transfer law enforcement services for the Milwaukee Regional Medical Complex is being proposed without consultation or approval by the medical complex community, of which I have had conversation with. That should come as no surprise to anyone. Providing money for additional district attorney's office investigators raises this question: why are we allowing the district attorney to create a police department in the prosecutor's office? That is mission creep and a duplication of services already performed by 19 other law enforcement agencies in Milwaukee County. My agency is short on investigators, and I'm requesting that funding be restored into my budget for additional investigators which is our mission. The proposal of creating an Office of Emergency Management should be left in the Office of the Sheriff for several reasons. First, two of the branches already exist in the Office of the Sheriff, those being the Emergency Management Division and the Emergency Communications and Dispatch. Adding emergency medical services and IMSD radio communications is nothing more than forming an incident command system for large-scale events that my personnel are trained in. Second, this is a law enforcement function, not administrative. No one in the Office of the County Executive has any training, knowledge, or expertise on the incident command system. We are now at a point where courtrooms and freeways will not have adequate coverage, and service of domestic violence injunction orders, for example, will be delayed. That is not acceptable to me on behalf of the people of Milwaukee County. But that doesn't matter to Chris Abele. Settling political scores is the only thing he seems to care about. I have not been allowed to hire a new deputy since 2004. Now, some of that was my doing, as we right-sized from around 750 deputies to around 500 to allow for the creation of correction officer positions at a lower cost to staff the Milwaukee County Jail. That was an agreement between myself, the former county executive, and this board, and it made sense. To go below those numbers was never the idea that I had in mind. 2004, 10 years ago, was when I last hired a sheriff's deputy. My ranks are dangerously thin. This has resulted in excessive amounts of overtime for work that can and should be done on straight time with proper staffing levels. It has led to deputies not getting a day off for long stretches of time. It's affecting their quality of life at home and at work. A fatigued officer is prone to make mistakes. A fatigued officer has less patience with the public, caused by being tired. It's not an excuse, it's a reality of the human condition. And a fatigued officer is less alert to the dangers faced in the field. Not having proper supervision of those officers, as I said, is at the heart of some of the gruesome stories we've been reading about, like illegal strip searches and other officer misconduct, some of which has happened in my own agency. This can lead to civil lawsuits that will far outweigh proper staffing paid for up front. I'm requesting to repair the damage that the county executive has created and to provide the people of Milwaukee County an affordable level of service that they elected me to provide, not County Executive Chris Abele. Thank you.